Hey guys, welcome to today's video, and today we're going to talk about validation, especially seeking external validation from other people. You see, like when you've left an abusive relationship, you will always feel that there is no one who understands what you've been through. And your friends and family may not validate or even understand your experiences as you had expected them to. And this mostly adds to this feeling of being alone in your healing journey. It's one of those reasons that may make you want to go back to your ex because you feel that no one is validating your experiences, no one is understanding you, especially those close to you, like your family and friends. And then, on top of this, your close family and friends may also be siding with your ex. There are two kinds of validation. There is external validation, and then there is self-validation. Of course, the key is to work towards self-validation, where you validate your own experiences. But when you've been in an abusive relationship, you may find it really hard to validate yourself because your self-esteem has been ruined, your reality has been distorted, and you don't even believe the words you are saying. So it can be really hard to validate your own experiences. That's where external validation comes in. External validation is where like other people encourage you, support you, and validates what you've been through. It has its drawbacks, but it can be a necessary component in your healing journey. And I'm going to share with you how you can safely seek external validation while you are building your own reserve of self-validation in your healing journey. The first thing you have to understand is it's okay to seek external validation. Do not feel bad for seeking validation from others. You're just building your own reserve. And when you don't know what hit you and you can't make sense of what you've been going through, seeking external validation is a great solution. You may be so hard on yourself to the point that you even invalidate your attempts of seeking validation. You may even think that you are weak for seeking validation, but you are just strong and courageous for coming out and sharing your story. And the thing is, when you are seeking validation, there'll always be that inner voice telling you, you must be so weak or you must be so sick to share your story to a stranger online. Do not listen to it. In fact, I've heard plenty of those when interacting with victims of abuse virtually. Like, someone might say, I must be really weak and stupid for seeking validation from even a stranger I don't know. No, do not listen to that voice. The thing is, you will feel that way because you are used to being invalidated by your abusive ex. What you can do is just know that you are seeking external validation for you. It's okay to seek others to understand you, even when you don't understand what you've been through. It's okay to seek others to help you understand what you've been through. And then later on, you will also understand what you've been through. Because the thing is, when you've been constantly gaslighted, you may find it really hard to differentiate between what's real and what's not. So, seeking validation from someone who can just listen to you vent and validate your experiences is okay. It's still part of your healing journey. Because it will reach a point where now you will validate yourself. The second thing is you have to avoid seeking validation from mutual acquaintances. Does this question sound familiar? Like, why can't my friends and family just understand what I've been through? It sounds familiar, right? In life, the first people we want to validate our experiences are family and friends because we have this feeling and expectation that they have to. This is quite understandable because we feel that we share a deep bond with those friends and family. And we've also been deeply conditioned with many expectations around family. It's just a normal thing. And actually, that's now the greatest trap when it comes to validation because most times they'll be the last ones to validate your experiences. Your family and friends may be the last ones to validate your experiences. There are many reasons why your family and friends may be the last ones to validate your experiences, or it may not even validate your experience. The first one is you have to understand that they may not have seen the dark side of your abusive ex, and they're just used to their charming side, which even makes them like your family or friends' favorite. Like your abusive ex may have contributed thousands of shillings in a family fundraiser. So your family is like, hey, that person is really good. Awesome. They even did this and this. So they may also be under the manipulative spell of your ex and they've not yet broken out of it. Another thing is your family and friends may also be friends with your abusive ex. And where we get it wrong is thinking that once we break up with our abusive ex, our friends and family should also follow along. That's where we get it really wrong. And then the other thing is those mutual acquaintances, also like friends and family, may have also had two sides of the story from you. Like there was a moment where you shared about your abusive ex being abusive, and then there was also a moment where you shared about something which you were defensive of them. And then also your abusive ex may have also shared their own side of the story. So your family may be just confused about all this, and they may also be acting neutral in this scenario, like they're neutral in this scenario. That's why they might never validate your experiences. Because if someone is neutral in this scenario, especially when you've been in an abusive relationship, it means that that person is not validating your experiences. And it's not their fault actually. That's just how it is. On top of this, your abusive ex may have also recruited your family and friends by, of course, like smearing your name or talking ill about you, because that's the extent they can go. Because they're highly manipulated, that's the extent they can go, just to keep that false image while tarnishing your name. So when you try to seek validation from people who see you as the abusive person and not your ex, it can be really hard. Yes, I know it's painful, like if those close to you are not validating your experiences, but we just have to understand that they may also be under the spell of manipulation, and they also have different perspectives. That's why the best place to seek validation can be connecting with other survivors of abuse, like through Facebook groups or online forums like Reddit or even Instagram. And you will be able to understand that there are other people out there who've been through similar experiences, and you're not crazy after all. It's okay to be validated by a stranger as long as that stranger is listening and not judging you for what you've been through, but listening to your story, not to the abuser side of the story, no, to your story. Then that can really provide you something to work on in your healing journey. This is also where like educating yourself comes in handy now. You can read some books on toxic relationships just to understand that you are not alone, and that the things you've been experiencing, the verbal abuse you've been experiencing, the emotional abuse you've been experiencing were truly abusive. You will also understand like the effects of verbal abuse on your mental health. Like you can also read stories of other survivors who've really thrived after being in these situations. It can really help you and validate that actually you are not alone, and there is life out there for you once you heal. To conclude, it's okay to seek some level of external validation when you are climbing your way up that dark hole. But don't stay there. Focus on working on yourself to the point that you do not even need any validation from the outside, as you now understand that you are just good enough on your own. And understand that the only validation you ever needed was from your authentic self. So the key is moving towards self-validation. But when you feel that you cannot do it because of what you've been through, seek external validation, seek help, talk to someone as a temporary measure as you work on finding yourself, as you work on connecting to yourself. You have the resources to validate yourself. You may not understand now because of the abuse and the trauma you've undergone, but we all have the resources deep inside us to validate ourselves. Hope you found that informative, guys. So it's okay to seek validation from a stranger, but work towards self-validation. Until next time, see ya.